Hi guys, this is Alicia with All Things Alicia here for another day of the 30 days of Thanksgiving. Two great things happening today that I'm learning throughout this whole process. Number one, you may have noticed I finally figured out how to do an intro to the video. And number two, I'm doing my first voiceover, so I'm hoping this works out well. Today's video is really just to answer a few questions I have gotten about how I plan ahead. I mentioned back in my planning video that I do a lot of things ahead, as much as possible ahead of time. And some people have asked me what I do ahead of time, how far ahead of time, is it actually good if you do it ahead of time? And so I made this little chart to kind of show you what I actually do ahead of time. And it goes Sunday through Thursday because Thursday is Thanksgiving. And Sunday is about as early as I do anything food-wise. So starting on Sunday, I make the cranberry sauce. I actually make two cranberry sauces. I will probably share them both with you later on another day. Sometimes I do the pickled mushrooms that day. It depends on how my time plays out for the whole week. But cranberry sauce can last a couple weeks in the fridge. So I make our cranberry sauce on Sunday. Monday, I thaw a turkey. It takes 2 days at least to thaw, so it's okay to pull it out on Sunday as well. Sometimes I'll do that. And I also do pickled mushrooms. I know that sounds weird to people. I will make a video of the pickled mushrooms, but it's an old family recipe I had growing up, and my kids love it, and it's definitely something being passed down. But those also can last a couple weeks in the fridge. So I make the pickled mushrooms, and I thaw the turkey on Monday. Tuesday, we're now 2 days before Thanksgiving. It really starts to pick up the pace quite a bit. On Tuesday, I make any pie crusts that need to be baked ahead of time. If I'm making any graham cracker or Oreo crusts, or if I'm making a pie crust that needs to be baked and then filled, I make that on Tuesday. Mainly because Wednesday I make all my pies, and a lot of those crusts need to cool ahead of time. I also make drink syrups like we talked about in the mocktail and cocktail video. Anything like that can also be made ahead of time. I'm usually also doing that. I could do that as early as Sunday or Monday if I wanted to. I also iron any linens if I'm getting out a tablecloth or cloth napkins that we don't normally use. I make sure that they're washed, ironed, and hang them up somewhere so that they stay unwrinkled. And I clean any serving dishes. A lot of times at Thanksgiving, I'm pulling out certain things I only use once or twice a year. They may have gotten dust on the shelf, things like that. So I make sure that they are pulled out, that I have them all, that they're clean. If I need to make any last minute replacements that I wasn't counting on, I still have a day to do it. Wednesday, I brine my turkey. I'm not going to do a video of my turkey this year just because everyone pretty much has their way of doing their own turkey, and mine isn't my own recipe. I do Alton Brown's turkey brine. You can find that on Food Network if you want to try it. We love it. It's absolutely fabulous, but that has to be done the day before. So I thaw my turkey way early so that it can be brined early because I need at least 24 hours for that. I also make rolls the day before Thanksgiving on Wednesday. Any bread, it will last, it's fine, the day before. Make my pies on Wednesday. Some pies are one of the things people have asked me about. Pies are great made the day before. A lot of them need to either, like I make a chocolate pie that's in the refrigerator so it needs to chill. Sometimes I make a chocolate mocha cheesecake that goes in the freezer. Fruit pies, I feel like taste better after they have sat at least 12 hours and kind of the flavors have sat up, they've mingled, stuff like that. So pie is absolutely, day before is really nice. If they're really juicy pies, your crust may get soggy. That will be my disclaimer. I don't really do juicy, weird pies, but if you do, there's that. Mashed potatoes I make the day before. Mashed potatoes are fine, made the day before. Just know that when you reheat them the next day, on Thanksgiving Day, I add milk or melted butter just to make sure they're still juicy enough. And because you're adding more fat to them, you will have to add more seasoning. So you'll want to taste them again and salt and pepper them again. So mashed potatoes, definitely a day before, saves me time. That leaves Thursday, which all I have to do is throw the turkey in the oven. We make Brussels sprouts in our family, and those they take me 5 minutes. I make them right before I serve dinner. I can make those ahead of time and reheat them in the microwave, but to me, they don't maintain the same texture. I barely cook my Brussels sprouts. I like them to have a little crunch still, and so I just make those fresh. The same with the corn. I do like a toasted corn thing, and our family likes that, but it's one of those things that I like, that toasty kind of dry edge you get when you toast corn. Again, it's like a 5-minute thing that I'm also making usually at the same time as the Brussels sprouts while the turkey is resting right before serving. Gravy, you can't make that till the turkey comes out of the oven, and you can use the drippings. But again, it doesn't take very long. Stuffing, I put on here. I don't make stuffing. My mother-in-law brings her stuffing. We like that. I have never been a stuffing fan, but I do like hers, but just a few bites. So she brings that. I don't make it, but if I did make it, I would make it the day of, because it would, I feel like as leftovers, stuffing gets a little kind of soggy and too soft. But that's up to you. If you like really soft stuffing, then go ahead and do it the day before. See how it works for you. But I feel like that's a day of type thing. So this is how I prep ahead. If you have anything that you prep ahead, I'd love to know in the comments. What are your tips for getting as much done as you can before Thanksgiving Day so that you can really concentrate on the big important components and the last minute things, because there's always a million of them, and the fact that you're supposed to be spending time with your family. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out the other channels that are doing the collab.